our 12 famous dancing girls. The star of the Midnight Frolic, Cantor. Am I working too cheap? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that Mr. Elkins is the greatest master of ceremonies we've ever had here on the Midnight Frolic. He's a fine musician, a wonderful personality, and a great fella.
Thanks, Eddie. I wish I could say the same about you.
You could if you were as big a liar as I am. You know, kidding aside, I want to tell you, Elkins is really a very fine fellow, but one of those chaps that will not buy, does not spend. Oh, they chased him out of Scotland. I tell you, if he killed 2 birds with 1 stone, he'd want the stone back. You know, when we opened this roof here, we've been rehearsing for about 4 or 5 days, and I'll never forget, it was on a Wednesday. We both went out together and we had dinner. I paid for his dinner. And the next day, I bought his lunch and his dinner. The following day, I paid for his breakfast, his lunch, and his dinner. And the following day, we went out for lunch, and I started to grab the check again. He said, "No, Eddie." He said, "No, not 4 days in succession. Tonight, let's toss up for it." I'm glad to see we have so many celebrities here tonight. I mean, it's really a very fine crowd, everybody in evening clothes. And from here, the odor of mothballs is terrific. We have sitting over here, none other than the famous motion picture star, Richard Dick. Give the Redskin a hand. That's enough. Remember, I'm the main one. And right here we have some musical comedy stars. Miss Mary Eaton, who played in Kid Boots with me, remember? She's sitting with Oscar Shaw. Make them both get up. Come on. Hi, Mary. Hello, Oscar. And oh, bless my soul, if there isn't Peggy Joyce. What is that, a goiter? No, she's wearing a new lavalier. I see. Don't make her get up. She's weighed down by so many bracelets, she couldn't stand up. And you know, Peggy Joyce has a clause in her will that when she dies, they're not to bury her. They're going to put her right back in Tiffany's window. I received a request here earlier in the evening from one of the cash customers to sing a song which I helped make popular downstairs in Whoopi, a thing called I Fall Down and Go Boom. Would you like to hear it? Some kids say that the world today is all upside down. Sometimes they're smiling, sometimes they frown. My heart felt sore for the kid next door when I heard him cry. Here's what he told me when I asked him why. I played horsey down the street with my broom down the street. When somebody moved the street, I tore down and go boom. And I got up on my horse, broom of course was my horse. When somebody moved the horse, I tore down and go boom. I cried and ran home to Ma. yesterday from a guy around my way. Took one drink and what do you think? I put down and go boom. The stuff they're selling us nowadays is not so good. It's apt to blind you. I remind you years ago, you buy some wine, wind up singing at a line. Now you wind up on your spine, cause you put down and go boom. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sing you a little ballad that I think you like. Eddie, play for the customers, will you? Nights are long and lonely since we've been apart. You'd come back if you but knew how I miss you in heart. You said I wasn't playing fair, and so you'd have to go. There's a question I would ask of you. Your answer I must know. If I give up the saxophone, will you come back to me? If I give up that toodaloo, will we bill and coo just like we used to do? I know the fault was all my own. You warned me time and time. Lips that touch a saxophone, you said, shall ne'er touch mine. So if I give up the saxophone, will you come back to me? My father plays the piccolo, my mother plays the drum, my brother plays the horse just because he is a bum-tiddy-yum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Our baby plays harmonica and plays it way off key. My grandmama plays tennis cause she lives in Tennessee. See. Now if I give up the saxophone, would you come back to me? If I give up the toodaloo, anything you say, if you'll come back to stay. When I sit in the park at night, how all alone I feel. I found out that a saxophone has got no sax appeal. So if I give up the saxophone, will you come back to me? All right. I respond. I give in. You know, we had Automobile Week here a short while ago, and of course we had a lot of automobile men came up here on the roof, some of them with their wives, and one fellow came to me and said he represented Lincoln Agency, and he said, Cantor, if you can only use the name of Lincoln or Ford in your monologue someplace, why, we'd be glad to give you a little Ford coupe. And of course, so I got the Ford coupe, and I want to tell you they're cute. Oh, the darling little coffee clots you ever saw. For instance, no, listen, on the new Ford, they've got wire wheels and four-wheel brakes. Everything is nickel-plated. And here's a great feature. They have a non-shatterable windshield. In case of an accident, the glass doesn't scatter. It hits you one piece like this. Oh, it's really good. And myself, personally, I'm tickled to death that Henry Ford apologized to a race of people with whom I'm very familiar. And I know why Mr. Ford was angry at the Jewish people in the first place. Leave it to Cantor to find out, you know. They were getting more money for second-hand Fords than he was getting for new ones. That's what it was. You know, I know, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be very glad to hear that Mr. Ziegfeld has made me a partner in the Midnight Frolic, beginning tonight. I know you'll be happy to hear about it. He's very appreciated. You know, I played in a lot of follies for him and Kid Boots and now in Whoopee. And in fact, he's insisting that I become a partner in the play. I received a note from him tonight. Here's what he says in the note. He said, Dear Eddie, unless you take an interest in the Midnight Frolic, we'll have to get another comedian. I don't know what it was. Great fellow, Ziegfeld. I don't care for diamond rings folks like to, you get up and dance. Eddie, will you play a dance for the customers? Come on, get right up. Good night, everybody. Good night.